What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Another Friday, another episode of Why Are We Bullish 80 IQ edition. It's going to be a battle. Is it going to be 58K forever? Is it going to be 100K soon? Will there be some sweet relief for our special guest today? Time will tell, but I hope that you're all bullish regardless of price action. That's the least important thing going on. Unless it's today's show. Anyways, it's going to be a banger today. Very excited to have gentlemen that are backstage. We'll do some intros momentarily, but of course, this is live. Anything can happen, so I defer to my friend Bill here.
Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. And thing sucks.
If you have not already, please do like, subscribe, share. All of those things help a ton. Shout out to my nostriches over on zap.stream and everybody joining me from every other platform as well. I am Ben with the BTC Sessions. This is your daily session.
HODL the Bitcoin.
Before we dive in, let's take a look at where we are in the market right now. This is timechaincalendar.com. And if you noticed on the right-hand side of the screen, we also have a live chat there for the world to see, for better or worse. We're sitting at $65,499 per coin. A single US dollar will snag you 1,527 sats. Fees are sitting at 5 sats per byte next block. And in terms of Bitcoin mined, 19.75 million of them, which is 94.09% of the total supply. We're going to give a quick shout out to our sponsors and we will dive in with our guests in a moment. We'll see you in just 1 minute. Bitcoin Well is on a mission to enable independence by being one of the easiest and quickest ways to purchase Bitcoin in Canada and the US. The best part about it, every buy goes directly into your own self-custody. They never hold your coins. You can add a Bitcoin address as part of onboarding. There's a transparent 1% spread, no hidden fees, no withdrawal fees. Plus they have KYC free sells and bill payments on their website. They're also a publicly traded company under the ticker BTCW on the TSXV. Check them out over at bitcoinwell.com. Check out my full tutorial on how to use them, and you can check out the links in the show notes down below and sign up today. Speed Wallet is a Bitcoin Lightning wallet built with simplicity in mind. Spend and receive with ease, claim your own Lightning address, shop your favorite gift cards, and even earn rewards when you spend. Head over to speed.app to download the app on your mobile or desktop today and use the link down below to get 5,000 sats for free and have the chance to win even more. All right, we are back. It's time to bring in our guests. First, we'll bring in Tselly. No, we can't bring in Tselly. He's in the middle of a hurricane right now and unfortunately has not had any service all day. But luckily, I've got, and he's doing okay last I heard, so not to worry. But luckily, we have a couple other gentlemen that can talk smack about him in his absence. So I'd like to welcome to the stage Yellow. This is getting more impressive.
What's up? Thank you. I'm a big fan. I love what you do, Ben. And it's great to be for the first time here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I feel like it's long overdue, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome. Well, let's welcome in the other D-Gen here, other Barry. Barry, how's it going?
Man, I'm good. My intro is not nearly as cool as Yellow's.
I mean, we're going to talk about your infinite push-ups that you can do now because you've been smashing those for how long now?
200 and something days. I'd have to go check. I've lost count.
Damn. That's fantastic. I honestly didn't. I mean, I'm still doing my push-ups, but I didn't keep up with posting in the group because I just got distracted. But I'm still doing push-ups.
Yeah, that's what everyone says.
I've definitely missed a day here and there, but I'm trying to keep on top of it. I tried to get Tselly to do 100 with me in Vegas a few times, but he kind of bitched out on that.
What? Tselly was supposed to be like all on top of the push-ups. He did this up and down from 1 to 10. He was all for it, and then I think he almost died.
Yeah, I think that definitely threw a wrench in it, but he did 25 with me, and then he was too hungover to complete. So there's that. But hey, we're all here, we're all happy. So well, let's get the I guess maybe we should give some intros. Yellow, tell people who you are, what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Yellow. I do stuff on Twitter and Nostr. I like memes and having a laugh and creating things that makes me laugh and makes my friends laugh. I like people, but also I don't like people. And I'm a puppet that kind of knows, I try at least to know where my string's at. That's it.
I enjoy that. Well, that's fantastic. You're also how many days into your daily do you even want to talk about it at this point?
No, we can talk about it. Yeah, I do the Don't Stop Believing Spaces. It's day, let me see, 1054 today it was.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Every day. Yeah, I do the spaces where I play Don't Stop Believing by Journey 3 times, third time being a live one. It started as a joke. It became something else. And yeah, now it's what I do until 100K.
And then what happens at 100K?
I stop.
What else happens at
Believing
100K?
or just stop?
No, I'm not selling. I'm not leaving. I might take a break, a big one, but I'm not leaving. I won't become a ghost. I won't go back to Nostr and back again, like the Lord of the Rings, I won't do any of that. I'll be around, but I need a break and I need to travel and see more of my crazy friends I made through this journey.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, I think we need
also thank you for having me for the first time, Ben.
Yeah, no problem. And I think we need to give good intros to Barry, who's part of the gang that's responsible for your incessant hellhole that you were stuck in right now. Barry, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, so I'm Barry, or also known as Other Barry. Yellow has some other names for me, but I think this is a family show. Yeah, I like memes. Most of my memes do involve making fun of Yellow or the price being 58K and how the price is going to be 58K forever, or about how once Yellow does his final space in a ceremony, he will hand the mic over to me as the only person to ever get the mic in his spaces. So I do want to thank Yellow in advance for giving Barry the mic. But yeah, I like Bitcoin and I like memes and yeah, that's why I'm here.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad to have both of you, and we'll have to make sure to also talk smack about Tselly.
Hey guys, I'm Tselly. I work 40 jobs now, and I can't do meme for shit anymore because I have no time and no power. Apparently, hey, I'm Tselly.
This is off to a great start. Fantastic. Well, we're going to dive into the meat of the show now. Anybody watching that's unfamiliar, perhaps some of the nostrages that are tuning in for the first time, or if you're on any other platform and check this out for the first time, this is Why Are We Bullish? Very simple premise of the show. Each of us have come with a reason for being bullish in and around Bitcoin, and that reason can take any form. It could be a personal experience, a news item, an app, a blog, a video, whatever is currently floating your boat, something that is exciting you in and around Bitcoin. And so the flow of the show is, number one, somebody's going to drop their reason for being bullish, think of this as their chance to rant about what's currently top of mind for them. Once they're kind of through with their topic, then all together we're just going to riff on that reason. We're going to comment, add context, add questions, go down whatever rabbit holes we decide to. And when we're finished with that topic, when we put a bow on it, we're going to rotate to the next person. So reason, riff, rotate. Only rule is try not to drop your reason for being bullish early before I specifically ask you, because then it just gets weird and awkward. But besides that, no holds barred. So we are going to dive right in, and it's getting spicy in the chat already. I can see, 58K gang dead. Rope is asking why you hate stack chain, Yellow. So I mean, people are frothing at the mouth here. This is going to be spicy, I think. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's going to get real. Let's go. All right. Well, I am going to start with my reason for being bullish, and it's not going to be meme related, but it's going to be something that I'm kind of interested in and around. I guess there's a lot of like crackdowns on Bitcoin privacy tools earlier in the year, and it got pretty dicey. And we saw the Samurai guys get arrested, and they're in the midst of sorting that mess. We've got the in the realm of privacy, the Tornado Cash guy is actually facing criminal trial now. Wasabi preemptively bent the knee, and it was all for naught because they had to spin down there and sunset their coordinator anyways. But in the ashes of what happened with these crackdowns, we're starting to see Bitcoin privacy approach its we'll say it's exiting its Napster phase and moving into its BitTorrent phase, in that it's kind of more so now, instead of being able to point at somebody and say like, oh, shut that down, now it's going to be more of a game of whack-a-mole. And the reason I say that is, in particular, something that popped up just the other day across my purview, but prior to that, Wasabi Wallet, you can now like sub in different, and you always could, but you can sub in different coordinators, and there weren't really any for a while. And then as soon as they sunset theirs, there started to be quite a lot of liquidity on these other coordinators. So no longer Wasabi's, but other people running them more anonymously. But the thing that I'm kind of interested in today is this. This is an anonymous fork of Samurai Wallet that just popped up a few days ago. And so it basically, I mean, it pretty much looks exactly like Samurai with some updates. It has a lot of the original features like Paynim and onion routing and ricochet and all these different kind of like features for on-chain Bitcoin privacy. It's fully open source. The main difference is, before there was a privacy concern in and around if you didn't run your own little like a node box called a dojo that you would link this to, you were effectively leaking your XPub, and whether or not that was retained is, I mean, the main thing is you didn't know. And so that was kind of a scary thing if you weren't running a dojo. But this one requires you to run one. So there is no leaking of XPubs. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I'm going to try and do it. I think the barrier to entry is quite high. It's going to be scary for people. Like, I don't know how many people are actually going to run this shit themselves. I was like, oh, how can, if I wanted to do this from scratch and I didn't have a dojo, how would I do that? And I went to their docs, and it gives me like command line shit to do, which I'm going to try and do. But like, somebody's going to look at this and be like, not a chance. So I think there's a long way to go, but I also think it's kind of cool to see this stuff initially popping up in the face of all these legal actions and still being run anyways. And I plan on doing it. And so I have this little guy right now that I'm just waiting on a bigger hard drive for it. And then I'm going to spin up a dojo and see what this samurai fork looks like. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm excited about. I don't know if you guys have comments or questions or whatever around this, but I'll kind of leave it to you if you do.
No, I've never, to be honest, I never tried that much with something similar. Not even this fork. So
yeah,
I take precautions around privacy stuff.
Yeah,
but not that much. I do realize that my best kind of privacy defense is that I live in the Balkans.
Yeah.
That's it. The land where you will still download torrents, you know? I don't give a fuck here, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm if you didn't know, whenever I'm on my computer, I am in Greece. Yeah. Are you like do you pay attention to any on-chain privacy stuff? Like, are you careful with that? Or are you like, are you trying to get Bitcoin through non-traditional means? Or is it kind of like you're just generally being cautious that like the average person can't just know your stack?
I think there is no point to, how do we say? There is a way to find non-KYC Bitcoin, and it's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
It's getting more difficult. I understand that. But it's also a pretty good way to get KYC coins that you KYC not yourself, let's say.
Yeah.
Somehow you have to be sneaky with them.
Yeah.
And one way is to do it on chain, and that takes knowledge and learning and reading and searching about it, how you do it. And again, you're not 100% sure, but again, the other way is to be sneaky with them before even you open an account in any exchange site, right? So I found a way to be sneaky from the start, let's say.
Okay. Yeah.
Whoever understands.
Tell me exactly where you obtained your Bitcoin and give me your expo, please. Barry, what about you? Are you? I mean, you're a NIM, obviously, so there's a degree of privacy there. But like when it comes to dealing with Bitcoin, like on a scale of 1 to 10, are you super concerned with on-chain privacy? Do you ever like utilize some tools? Have you, where are you at?
I'm not super concerned, although I wish I was a little bit more. I had been a little bit more diligent from the start, as Yellow said, to be sneaky from the start. Yeah, I mean, I kind of just stack things away, and not very concerned with the privacy aspects at this point, since I'm just mostly hodling. So yeah, I don't use a whole lot of that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I've kind of been, I mean, I'm pretty much fucked anyways, right? Like I'm like online actively using wallets, showing people how to use them. And I'm sure there's there's like things from the past that are in videos that are old that, I'm sure anybody that wanted to put in some effort could be like, well, I mean, he's used these addresses and, so, I've tried to use some obfuscation techniques for forward facing privacy so that like, if I go buy something, somebody's not going to be like, oh, this came from a UTXO of this size. So I know that, especially for online stuff where you have to like put in a shipping address, which should be like a PO box, but like, Yeah, you don't want to buy a $50 T-shirt and have the shipper weighing whether or not it's worth buying a plane ticket to your locale so that they can like kick in your door, right? So yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's exciting. I think it's worth playing around with, and I am gonna make a video on making this thing, but I think I'm going to do it as more of an honest tutorial of me just kind of talking through what I'm doing as I do it, because especially all the command line stuff, I want people to see that I too have no idea what the fuck I'm doing half the time. I'm just kind of stumbling through it and then clipping out the pretty parts that actually were successful. So yeah, but with that, I there's a lot of great back and forths in the chat happening right now.
Yeah, there's a whole battle happening.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. But in between, there are some questions and stuff. Again, like Put in the Cereal, despite the username, often has many insightful things to say. And he said this is where UTXO management is important. The change address is a factor. Yeah, so like if you have like a whole Bitcoin,
and the fees are rising. So
yes, yeah, exactly.
I think I saw it yesterday or today 9. It was always like around 3 or 4. So
yeah, and it's and the tricky bit is you don't want like a bunch of tiny little UTXOs, but you also don't want a bunch of large UTXOs. So you have to walk this tightrope of, like if you use on chain to pay for something, you don't want the equivalent of pulling out like $1 million bill to buy something small, because the vendor then sees that. And so in the future, that could be a reality for a lot of people stacking right now, where it's like, oh, I just used something that's worth a lot and they saw my change. So yeah. Somebody's asking if I have a headphone dent on top of my head. Yes, but only because of the amount of product in my hair. So
yeah. Don't pay attention to Grapples. He's let's say special kind of individual.
He's very special.
Awesome. Well, gents, I think that the time is right to do a rotation here. I will just say for people watching, play around with some of the privacy stuff. I do have a bit of a playlist on different things that have come out over the years that you can tinker with, but it's worth at least being familiar. You probably, you'll need it more when you go to use your Bitcoin afterwards than, as you're stacking, if you're not like moving stuff around frequently. So their Grepples is very yeah, thanks, guys. So we're going to do a rotation. I'm going to toss it to Yellow first, and I'm going to cue you up with the same question everybody on the show gets. Why are you bullish?
Okay, first of all, I got to admit, that question is loaded. It's triggering, and it's kind of assuming from the start, like who do you think you are, Ben? Like, first of all, why am I bullish? Like, not are you bullish? And then why? Like, right away, you're assuming I'm bullish for some reason?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm bullish. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. It's like, it's a little bit projecting a kind of vibe. Okay, I guess I'm bullish. It is true. I can say a lot of reasons why I'm bullish. I really thought about it, and whoever listens to my spaces, a whole week about this, and I keep on asking myself, like, why am I bullish? And I have a bunch of reasons that I could say, that I would mention now. I could say I'm bullish about the LGU still being attacked, about plebs buying, about ETFs buying, about Saylor going on debt and buying, that institutions are more accepting, and that is a good thing, but also institutions are more accepting, it's also a bad thing. I can say also we had a very long bear market, crab market, and it is about a time to be bullish. That about price, I guess. Again, now about the network, we can say like TikTok next blog, as we like to say. The network passed a big stress test that was the inscription craze, and it passed with barely no problems, just some inconvenience for some time. The light network is still working. It has some issues around custodial, being the 90% running it, but that can be fixed somehow with ECAS coming and the two protocols like Casio and Fendimint.
Yeah,
that can make it way, way better. Adding privacy for those that love it, and off-exchange transactions that I wait. And ECAS is fucking cool. I don't know. I like ECAS.
it is pretty cool actually. Calais, like he's got a lot of interesting things that he's doing. All the eCash, little apps and everything are.
It's out of the box. Everything that comes from that group. That's what I like about it.
Mm-hmm.
The third thing I could be talking about why I'm bullish, but I'm not, is Bitcoiners, like the social kind of level of it.
Yeah.
I can say I love watching my friends in a random El Salvador party, drinking beer by the beach and talking about life.
Yeah.
I could be talking about like how I love traveling, to meet them in any conference out there, to just hang around outside the conference and never get in. So I could be talking about how I love my fellow plebs, creating small businesses and slowly starting that circular economy going around, and how that makes me bullish. I could be talking about seeing them making families and making Bitcoin babies in my timeline.
Lots of those.
Being creative, reading, researching Bitcoin, having the Bitcoin perspective in everything around us, creeping in without even noticing, as a group and as an individual, like it's transforming us, right? I could be bullish about all those things. What else? Memoirs and seed posting, having a laugh. And I could be talking about every of those aspects make me bullish, but in the end, I'm gonna answer the question by being honest, and I am bullish for one reason: we're pumping. That's it.
I like that. I wish I had like bullhorns or something. Maybe I do. Hold on.
Thanks.
Do I? I don't know. Hold on. Wait, I need to pull like an Opti here. I don't ever use this though. I feel like I'm failing here. Which one is which? That one?
I blame Tselly.
Oh, wait.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, let's just pretend that I'm
okay. Let me do the last. Are you ready? You have it? Okay. So I'm going to be honest. I am bullish for one reason, and that's because we're pumping. Nothing. that sounds like a toilet, man.
I know.
And he messed up his sound now.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Great.
So I'm gonna let you figure some shit to talk about while I fix this.
Oh wow. Okay. He became a replicator from that.
Oh, that he's definitely.
I'll take over, I guess. Barry, what do you think about the recent Israel-Palestinian? No, wait. I'm not going to. No.
No, I'm back.
No, okay. Yeah, thank God. Thank God, man. I got nothing.
The whole stream.
I got nothing.
Out.
Okay, yeah. the YouTube algos were ready to jump us.
Oh shit. Hey, I've got a question for you. Do you think our last cycle, we were naturally going to be higher, but the combo, like the FTX, not buying actual Bitcoin for all of the demand that was there, stunted us? Like, do you think we got screwed there?
I actually have an alternative theory,
Okay.
and I actually think that don't stop believing spaces jinxed us.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Yellow, like, are you worse than SBF?
I don't like cucumbers that much. To be honest, I think that the first peak we had was more organic.
Mhm.
And the reason that we didn't pump a little bit more the first time we picked was due to Elon stuff and the China mining ban, right? That was the time, if I'm correctly.
Yeah.
I remember correctly. And the second thing, the second rise was actually due to, I think it's like proven now, a part of FTX shenanigans. They needed to pump a little bit the price in order to get out of the black hole they put themselves, but they didn't work, obviously, and then it collapsed it. So I don't know. There's always gonna be manipulations happening on the market, but in the end, I don't think in a longer like timeline like it has any effect. Oh, there we are.
that feature on my keyboard is also broken, so I can't really use it very much. Anyways, we'll go back to the robot voice. Yeah. Barry, do you other than obviously Yellow fully ruining the last bull run, do you also think that some of that other stuff had a factor?
Yeah, absolutely. I think them selling a whole lot of Bitcoin to pay their bills probably suppressed the price a little bit. I did have a question for Yellow though. At what price, or like when we're pumping, like how much do you need to see it pump for you to really feel like, okay, hey, we're going now, so you can feel like, hey, maybe we can hit 100K only to be disappointed?
Well, the last time I got excited I got excited and also sad a little bit that I might be ending the space was when we were over like 72. Like then I was like, oh wow, it's like nothing for 80, and then it's like 20K. It can do 20K now that it is in the 80s, like nothing, very quickly.
Yeah.
And
I got excited at that point when for the push-ups. I was like, oh yeah.
And guess what, Barry? It was a top.
What if Barry is about to have the same fate as Yellow for another full cycle, except for with push-ups? What if we hit like 99 and that's it, and then you've got another 4 years? I mean, at least you'll be great at push-ups.
That's a win for him. He's getting healthier. I'm getting crazier.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. I do think that the pump earlier in the year, like the pre having new all-time high, I think it ruined everybody's mood for the rest of the year. Like I kind of wish it hadn't happened, because then the summer of crab was just devastating. And when you look back in context at the last cycle, the summer of 2020, we're all excited because we're coming back from the COVID dump, and we were like already halfway to, we're going past halfway to the previous all-time high. We're excited to get over 10K again. Everybody was ecstatic. And now we're like, we're at, when we're sitting mid 50s, it was like, ugh, This is horrible. Everything sucks. Like just the demeanor based on like immediate previous price action is hilarious.
We had to start a meme war to pass the time, you know. Like, I'd get that boring.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how boring it's been.
We went back to 2021.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Never admitted it. You call me.
Yeah.
You said you asked somebody if they were harboring enemies of the state.
No, I never said. Okay, I might have asked that, but I like. Why are you replying? I work for the state. I'm just asking like a fellow pleb. Like I could be asking like, I'm care about you. You know, like how was your day? Are you doing something? You know.
I mean, you asked Ben. Ben, what was the question? How did you interpret the question?
I don't know. I'm not paying attention. I don't know. Cam in the comments here is just reminiscing on the holiday season of 2020 when we broke 20K again in and around Christmas time. That was pretty sweet. That was
That
like
was, yeah.
that was
but if you remember, that was so expected. Like
it was.
From everyone, like, okay, we're gonna break 20 and then we're gonna start climbing like crazy, and that's what happened.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, you know, breaking 20, and then in that same month it was like high 20s, and we were like 30s in the new year. And yeah, it's weird because percentage wise it was nowhere near kind of what happened in 2017.
Yeah.
But it was still, just because the numbers are so large, it's just it hits a little bit different, I guess. Yeah.
And for me, that was my first. That was like my first bull run, my first like pump. So it was kind of a validation that, hey, you're not an idiot. You didn't throw all of your money away.
It is nice for that first experience, even though you hear it from people before, where they're like, "Oh yeah, we've been here before. It goes up, it goes down for a while, it goes back up. Like you'll be fine." But to actually think that's what's going to happen, have the entire world shitting upon anybody still in Bitcoin for like a calendar year or two, and then to see it come back and then breach previous all-time highs, much to the chagrin of Peter Schiff for the umpteenth time. Like it's a unique experience that first time around to be like, oh, thank God. I'm not just like listening to a bunch of other idiots that were hoping it would go back up. Like it actually is what I think it is. So yeah, it's a unique experience for sure. And also the people that once you weather a bear market. So like 21 was your first bull run. Did you enter during the bear?
I started buying in the summer of 2020. So it was like the 10s to 12s.
Okay.
When I started buying. So my first bear was when it went back down to like 17.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, it would have been scary, but at least you didn't fully see like it go below your first buy price.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all right. I think my first year was an 80% drawdown, which was jarring, but it's not like I had any fucking money at the time anyway. So yeah. Okay, awesome. We are going to, I mean, Yella, do you want to add anything? I mean, you said a lot. I mean, I feel like I want to touch on a few of the other things that you said too. I'm bullish on the Bitcoin babies. I mean, Becca's got her little dude.
She's replicating.
Yeah,
for sure. Main factory members are rising.
Yeah, which is that's super awesome. There's so many Bitcoin babies. Also, I will say that Carla's baby is like the smiliest kid I've ever seen in my entire life.
Nice,
super cute, and just just Bitcoiner babies everywhere. I think one of my favorite things was in Madeira. They had for the conference there, they had a kids area and it was full. There's just families and children everywhere, which is great to see. We're winning because all of the nihilists are holding off having kids because they think the world is going to hell in a handbasket, which I can see how they would think that.
We need more pleb organized meetups too. Like we need more relaxed and chill events like that.
Yellow, would you come to my meetup in Ohio?
Yeah, why not? I'm saying it for the stock traders because they're thinking of doing something and they should do it.
What are they doing?
I don't want to do it like a meetup, like with all the stock traders. Like, and they should definitely do it. Like we need more events like that.
Yeah, that's true. It's so rewarding when you get together with a bunch of other Bitcoiners, especially. I think I want to say that it can be more rewarding when you build something locally too, because it's like you didn't just show up to like another event. You actually kind of you see that there's you're helping cultivate or being a part of something that you can access right where you are. And I think more people, you're right, more people should do that. Just like if there's not something, then start something.
I'll tell you that. I'll tell you this. Whoever is listening and has doubts, if the meme factory could make the party, could organize that party, you can do it. Like, I don't know how we did it.
So. That was a great time. I really enjoyed that. It was, and it was pretty chill too. Like I didn't feel like I had to rush around and everything. I did. I mean, Sean had me speaking a couple of times, and I'm not going to lie, I was quite intoxicated.
That's on brand.
Yeah. I held it together, I think. I think I got on a stage with Surfer Jim, and I was a little inebriated at that moment. I can't remember what else I had to speak at.
Maybe introduce or something. I don't know.
Oh, I was on a stage on the beach. I can't remember what that was.
Right.
Yeah. It was a good time. You stayed down there for a little bit, didn't you?
For a month.
Shit.
I stayed for a month. Yeah.
Wow.
Where did you stay? After like the party, we stayed a little bit in the same resort for like a couple of days with the Meme Factory group.
Yeah.
And we just hang out, and then some stock trainers and DSBers, friends in general, and then
58K gangers.
Yeah, those two. They were around. And then I went to El Zonte after you all guys left.
Yeah.
And then we went in a secret location in Lake House, Itipango,
nice,
next to San Salvador. And then most of the people left. I went back to El Zonte. I went to San Salvador. I went to Berlin. Yeah, I went around. But mostly, the best days were that lake, and that place we found there. It was right next to the lake. Like it was the best days. Less hot, also not helped.
Yeah.
It wasn't like El Zonte.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful. For sure, it's like a beautiful country, and it's a safe country.
Yeah.
And if you have any doubts, don't. Just go.
Yeah, 100%. Other than, of course, we're gonna create a Greek island citadel someday. So
someday.
Yeah, someday. Well, that's awesome. Well, we'll put a bow on that for now. We're gonna do a rotation in a moment. As Jason has outlined, we'll hear from the 58K commies.
Yeah. Jason knows his shit.
So we'll hear about that coming up next. We're going to do just a quick little break. We're going to give a quick shout out to the remaining sponsors. And then I'm also going to give away some sats. So everybody that is in the audience, get your Lightning wallets ready. There's going to be a QR code on the screen when we come back. And whoever scans that with an LN URL capable Lightning wallet will snag whatever the amount is. It could be anywhere between 500 and potentially 1 million sats. So we shall see. But we'll be back in just a sec. So see you guys soon. CoinKite.com has some of the best hardware on the market today to secure your Bitcoin. The Cold Card Q is an absolute powerhouse and is my daily driver. And on top of this, they have plenty of other goodies, including the Mark IV, the Tap Signer, Open Dimes, the Block Clock, and much more. If you head over to their website, make sure you use code BTC Sessions at checkout to get a nice discount. Links are in the show notes down below. Keeper is a mobile Bitcoin application for managing and securing your funds for the long term. You can set up hot wallets for day-to-day spending or create digital vaults for deep cold storage. They also offer assisted multisig options as well as inheritance planning. And on top of that, Keeper boasts a long list of support for Bitcoin hardware, longer than I've seen for any other mobile application. You can check them out today by searching Bitcoin Keeper in your app store or heading to bitcoinkeeper.app. When it comes to peer-to-peer trading and lending, instant self-custody, and no KYC, HODLHODL is the place to be. You can sign up with just an email address, and once you're there, you can start browsing offers immediately, whether you're looking to buy and sell, or whether you're looking to lend or borrow. You can check them out today at the links down below. All right, we are back in. We're going to give away some sats before we move on to the 58K commies telling us why they're bullish, as represented by Barry, of course. So, Barry, you're primed and ready for that?
Yeah, I don't appreciate that representation.
I blame Jason.
Yeah, you're always against rules. That's why.
Well, we're going to give away some sats first. I'm here over at Bitcoin Well there in Canada and the US. And the way it works is anybody who signs up when you buy Bitcoin, when you refer friends, or even just in signing up, you earn points. And those points can be used to throw a coin in the Bitcoin wishing well. And then you can win the chance at either 500 all the way up to 1 million sats every time you toss your coins in the well. So anybody that's got a Lightning wallet, get it ready. Whoever scans this first will snag whatever the amount of sats is. So I'm going to toss it into the well, and I'll make this larger so everybody can scan it. There it goes. And 500 sats, whoever snags it first. And congrats, whoever does. Let me know if you do. Drop it in a comment if you're watching on Nostr or on the YouTube live stream or any other place. Drop a comment. Let me know that you got the sats. But with that, we'll dive back in. And Barry, I'm going to cue you up with the same question everybody gets. Why are you bullish?
Before he goes, I have to put a disclaimer. Whatever you hear, guys, now, be careful. He's a propagandist, okay?
Okay. Now
The man with a daily show where he won't share the mic is calling me a propagandist. That's rich, Yellow. That's rich. I've got lots of reasons to be bullish. Like Yellow, I could list a bunch of them. I tried to think of a unique one for this. For those of you who don't know me or what I do or anything, I work in the mortgage industry, and it's really hard to buy a house right now, probably harder than it's been in a really, really long time, with rates being high, with the home prices being high. And what I realized was there are a lot of people that are probably out there investing in Bitcoin rather investing in real estate right now because they've been priced out of real estate. So there's a new class of people that can actually invest in Bitcoin because they can't invest in a house. So that's one reason that I'm bullish. While it means that our economy kind of sucks, and it does, but that's another reason why I'm bullish on Bitcoin is because, again, it's what people are going to. It's a new investment class, a new way for people to save their long-term work rather than, traditionally that being in the equity in their home. They can, even though it's because they can't buy a house, they can store that in a different way, and that way is Bitcoin.
I like that. That's an interesting. I like the framing in that the fact that people cannot access the housing market, if those people are turned on to Bitcoin, it may actually be a net benefit. So in a way, the system as it is, despite people getting screwed out of home ownership, they may be funneled into something even better, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, kind of poetic, I suppose. Like the system imploding upon itself, where even the thing that traditionally people use to hedge against their shitty currency is now no longer accessible because the currency is so shitty that they get pushed into a better currency unbeknownst to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of a maybe unforeseen consequence of inflation going up and prices going up and all of that is, they've got to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even when I look at, so, myself and my family, we moved just kind of at the beginning of when the lockdowns were kind of starting, which at least gave us shit to do when everything was closed. Like we got to kind of arrange the house and turn it into a home type thing. But that was obviously pre crazy interest rates and pre home inflation. And so it's funny because I look at the cost of the home when we moved in and what it's valued at today. And you look at that and you're like, wow, that's a much larger number. But did anybody actually get, anybody that owns a house actually get, move up the ladder compared to where they were? I mean, not really, because you live somewhere. It's the people that weren't already actively in a home, like with a mortgage at that time, basically got completely screwed in the past 3-4 years. Like my sister was looking at a place. She was looking through 2020, maybe early 2021, and she had almost saved up enough for what would have been necessary for the down payment. She kind of priced everything out. She was like, okay, I'm pretty close. I'm going to give it one more year. And then what happened? Interest rates are insane. Housing market continues to go up regardless. And she just the mortgage cost would have more than doubled for her monthly. And the cost of the home was insane. The interest, just everything worked against her. And so it took it from I'm almost there to it's completely out of reach, probably forever. And that's pretty heartbreaking for a lot of people.
Yeah. And in Canada, you have shorter mortgage terms. You have to refinance every once in a while, right?
Yeah, it's super shitty because you go and they're like, hey, do you want a multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars loan? And you're like, sure. What's the interest rate? They're like, well, for the next 5 years, it'll be this. After that, no fucking clue. Would you like it? And that's how it is. It's like every 5 years you have to refinance. So there's no such thing as just buying a home and knowing what your payments are going to be forever. It's like, no, you know what they are for the next 5 years, and it's a total crapshoot. So in a way, it's kind of like a variable rate mortgage forever for everybody. It's just whether or not it's like it immediately responds to changes, or if it's like 5 years later, you might be in for a surprise. And for a lot of those people, like they tried to make it so that the changes in rates, you wouldn't get approved if the rates were to go up a certain amount. But we went above that threshold because they didn't think it could happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's like, what do you do? Like they were totally fine with giving out. It was crazy. And the worst part about it in Canada was in 2020, the governor of the Central Bank of Canada in a press conference said, if you are looking to take on a large amount of debt or buy a home, you should do it now, or it would be a good time to do it now because rates are incredibly low and are likely to be very, very low for a very, very long time. And literally anybody who bought a home in that moment got fucked, like almost, within a few years.
Jesus.
Yeah. Unreal. Yellow, what do you think? Real estate, shitcoin?
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
I used to say everything was shitcoin other than Bitcoin, but I have found that a good way to stack and raise your ability to stack sats through any kind of cycle that is out there you're going through is to raise your avenues of revenue. So if that real estate is being used to create a kind of cash flow for you to use it to stack, I wish I had done that earlier,
Yeah.
So
yeah. Also, I feel like at some point, the goal is to get to a point where you're comfortable enough that you can then begin using and enjoying your Bitcoin. So if you can, in general, I kind of have like a pretty simple formula, especially for the immediate term. And it's try and provide value for others, spend less than you earn, and save in money that nobody can print. And, if you can follow that, then you more or less, you're pretty much good to go. But, if it's been X amount of time and you've kind of built up some savings, I think you can kind of think of it at least for now, in 4-year cycles where it's like, what would make my life materially better over this next cycle that I may want to do? And for me, like, it helped a lot in just kind of establishing certain things for myself and my family, where it's like, okay, like this made our lives materially better for 4 years, and for my kids and me, like, yes, I won't have that amount of Bitcoin probably again, but at the same time, I still have savings. I'm still doing fine. I'm still, spending less than I earn, and my kids' lives were notably better during that time because of that decision. So I think things like that are fine. You just have to not get irresponsible about it.
Yeah, exactly. And in the end, I hate saying to anybody what he can or cannot do with his sats or money in general. So, it's I guess it's like a winning strategy when you're newer to the space, or you're young enough and you have a lot of years in front of you stacking, for the first 3 years to stack like crazy and nothing else.
Yeah.
But after a certain time in this thing of ours, you gotta find also new ways to, as I said, to upgrade as Bitcoin is going up, and your holdings is going up, and your way of living is going up. In the same way, you have to upgrade your ways of stacking. So that's a win for you. as an individual, and that's a win for all the Bitcoins are holding, right? Because in the next cycle, it means the plebs that were used to be, I don't know, streams, how you call them, like becoming streams with 100K push-ups, you know.
Yeah.
They have done 100K, but they have some muscles on them.
Yeah, I think it's true. And anybody that sticks around Bitcoin for enough time, they're going to, I guess in a way you kind of graduate from cycle to cycle. It's like you have your insane stacking cycle, and you kind of also stack lessons, right? Because like you can screw up a lot, right? Like I've had plenty of little things along the way where I'm like, I would have done that differently now. Like, do you guys have any important life lessons as Bitcoiners where you're like, well, that was stupid, and that was a lesson that I learned that I prefer other people to be able to sidestep?
Don't take out an installment loan expecting like the price to go up immediately or in the short term, because that will fuck you.
Yeah.
Don't buy that inkjet printer back in 2014, now worth around 100K.
What was that? That website is gone now. Hey, it was called bitcoinorshit.com.
Yeah, it was showing how it goes up, how much things cost, right?
That's a shame that's gone, because that was a good website.
You could buy an iPhone. You could buy like a car.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that website.
I feel like one of the early lessons, one of the first cycles where people figured out it was a bit of a cycle was, the early lesson was, Bitcoin, not shitcoins. And so I'd say that kind of culminated in the ICO craze of 2017, and then the subsequent bear market where just like all of those ICOs were just total trash, and everybody realized that they just got taken for all their Bitcoin. So that was kind of I'd say the first material push of Bitcoin only. And, that in 2018 was when the Bitcoin standard came out. So then there was an actual, piece of literature that you could read to kind of help formulate your thoughts around things. And then more and more started happening around that. But just because people learned to migrate to Bitcoin only doesn't mean that they were beyond lessons, because the next cycle through 2021, what was the big lesson? I mean, one of them was leverage. It was like, oh, I understand Bitcoin only, but I'm going to use I'm going to lever the shit out of it, and I'm going to put it with somebody, and I'm going to do all this stuff. And either you got rug pulled or you got liquidated. And so a lot of people who understood Bitcoin only still got screwed. I have my inklings of what the lesson this cycle is going to be, but I'm curious if you guys have something in mind of what the major lesson for Bitcoiners is going to be this time around.
I think it might be something around the technicality. I feel like it's a good thing that a lot of new projects are coming out, but I feel like slowly there is more. The pendulum is towards more experimenting and not that much on the caution side. I don't know. I wish that doesn't happen. If it happens, it's going to be happening in a layer above. No, I'm not talking about the base layer, obviously.
Yeah.
But we might see something like that around multisig, maybe. I don't know. But the good thing is, as that bad thing might happen, who knows what the next thing, the lesson is going to be, the hard lesson that we're all going to find out is, the good thing is, because I still have my degenerate shitcoin friends from back 2017, I still talk to those guys. The good thing is that those guys, in the shitcoin world, it's my understanding that they have finally realized that the whole marketing VC money funded argument of, oh, this is blockchain better than, it's faster, it's simpler, it can do this and that and all that. The majority have finally realized that all that is bullshit. In that side, other than Bitcoin, the only thing that exists is gambling, straight gambling in the meme coins and nothing else. And that's apparent in the failure of Ethereum. Like, you can see Ethereum that it was the top dog on the so-called like VC funded, suit wearing, smart contract narrative that we are better than Bitcoin. It's slowly failing, and they cannot do anything about it. It's kind of sad that whatever they try to spin now, Ethereum is failing. The only thing left there are chains like Solana that is straight for gambling.
Yes.
That's a huge win for Bitcoin. That I feel like we haven't realized it yet.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think so this is my favorite. I gotta pull up this tweet that I saw earlier, because it kind of proves your point where because the utility of Ethereum is, that's what it was all touted, and clearly, you know, Bitcoin is kind of where you want to be, because you don't want your foundations shifting beneath you as you try to build something atop. And so, yeah, all that's left is degenerate gambling. And to prove that point, I want to show this,
which at least is more honest than saying, oh, my blockchain can do that and my blockchain can do this, you know. At least the guys in Solana are saying, we have meme coins, we have shit. You want to gamble? That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think, and this is like, don't follow this guy. Don't take advice from him. But I just want to show this tweet. But then I want to give it context. So Ran, is that how you say his name? Ran Nooner. Anyways, Crypto Man Ran. Oof. Anyways, I just found this
remember
funny.
that guy.
Yeah, he's like, this is such a hard tweet to write. I'm in an abusive relationship. He goes on to basically say, like, he's breaking up with Ethereum and he's selling the last of his Ethereum. And some people looked at that and took it as him going Bitcoin only, but it's far from that. Like, this guy is like a degenerate, like, oh, here's the tokens to invest in type thing. And so, like, what's he doing now? Well, I mean, look at him. He's literally like pumping whatever, like, he's got Solana all over his feed. Yeah. He's pumping like whatever token, this crap, it, like everything. It's just what whoever probably, who knows what kinds of you know, little wink nudges are happening here too. But like, he's not leaving Ethereum because Ethereum doesn't do something that these other things do. It's because the gambling aspect of these other things is far greater.
Yeah, they're not paying him enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Like, so, going broke. Yeah.
Yeah. Barry, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I am definitely against any sort of shitcoining. As far as like what's going to happen this cycle and going to be the big thing, I have no idea. Probably something around like, I don't know, yeah, something with the shit coins or with the gamblings. I know you can basically bet on anything now, so probably something around that. People just getting wrecked because they're straight gambling their money rather than trying to invest it.
Yeah. Yeah, if I had to make a guess, it's going to be in and around both those things. But I think that the lesson in particular that Bitcoiners are going to have to learn this time around is if it's a bad idea as its own blockchain, it's probably still a bad idea on top of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I think, and I'd like to credit that quote to Francis Pouliot, which he said to me at Baltic Honey Badger in 2019 after we watched some presentation, and I was still kind of figuring out how I thought of things, and we watched some presentation about some guy doing some, like, I don't know, it just didn't make any sense to me, and I came out really confused because it was Bitcoin, but it sounded weird, and that's what he said to me. If it's a bad idea as its own shitcoin, it's probably still a bad idea on top of Bitcoin. And so we're going to see a lot of like grifting on top of Bitcoin. Oh, this is this, that, and the other thing. And it was stupid as a token on its own blockchain, but now it's a token on Bitcoin. And so that's totally, that's totally fine. And it's going to be hard to decipher between, like, the layer 2 grift is going to be real. Yeah. And you're going to have to decipher between, like, oh, this thing has trade-offs and you should be cognizant of them, or this thing is a literal shitcoin that is useless and is not needed, and it has tokens and all this. So, like, if you're going to have to get a lot more nuanced in discovering what's actually going on with a lot of these projects, because everybody's going to have a layer 2 on Bitcoin, and a bunch of them are going to be trash.
Yeah, it reminds me of the first years of Ethereum, where they were experimenting with more complex smart contracts.
Yeah.
And that the result was a guy went and pushed a button, a code button, and basically make the whole Ethereum like crumble or something. Like every week we were reading how that smart contract got had a bug, and now those coins are gone, and how they're gonna refund everybody, and especially in the start of the DeFi run, like that was every other day. So I feel like something similar, as I said, might happen, and might be the lesson we learn this cycle around a bug that might happen in like a side chain, like you described now.
Yeah. Barry, shitcoins on Bitcoin. Are you going to partake? Are you going to stay far, far away?
I will stay far, far away.
Yeah, there's a lot of grift there. It's going to be dicey out there. Everybody, be careful.
Bitcoin, Barry. Not a lot of people know this, but Barry is actually a deep closeted shitcoiner.
This is not true.
That's what a deep closeted shitcoiner would say. Not true. That's what he would say.
Checks out. No, it
doesn't.
Not true. Okay.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to start to round out, but I like to round out a certain way at the end of every episode. And the way that is just some quick final thoughts, any takeaway from the conversation, anything you want to finish getting off your chest, and also a recommendation. And the recommendation can be anything you like. It could be as simple as a little bit of life advice you wish you had as you were navigating Bitcoin for the first time. It might be an app. It might be a blog that you read, a video that you saw, a device you tried. It could be anything. Whatever you think somebody watching would benefit from or enjoy, you can throw it out there. So my final thought today is I think we're on the verge of a very interesting year. I think all of our expectations over the last cycle were kind of thrown out the window, and they may also be thrown out the window this time in a very different way. Last cycle, everything was kind of muted, I think, from a mix of FTX and the China mining ban. And then on the downside, it was worse than we thought, because at the doldrums of the bear market, FTX collapses and everybody freaks out even more than they might have. And I think on this round, we've already blown through a new all-time high pre-halving, which just doesn't happen. Well, and now it does. And so there's a lot of assumptions on diminishing returns, and we'll see if those assumptions are correct or not. So I think we're in for a very interesting next year and a bit if anything, and we'll see what those look like. And then in terms of recommendations, peek around at some of the privacy options there. One of which actually, and be cognizant of trade-offs, obviously, but Yellow, you mentioned Cashew. Start, peek at some of those Cashew wallets. They're kind of cool, even just to play around with, just to familiarize yourself with how they work. And you can, what's the website? I think cashew.me is like, you can literally go to a website that is called cashew.me right away, and it will you can create a wallet with like nothing, and you can add a mint. It's all down below. There's some discover mints. You can just add one, and then you can just send a lightning transaction in, and then you can send Cashew, which is basically eCash denominated in SAT, to whoever you like, and it's instant.
That's what I used to send one SAT through my banking.
Yes, right, because you split up the eCash text. That's hilarious. That's super awesome. Well, that's sweet. Yeah, so I don't know, check out, play around. It's fun. Yellow, I'll give it to you. Final thoughts, recommendation, and then we'll go to Barry.
Final thoughts is late August. I said no. I said I had enough. I draw a line in the sand, and with my fellow DSBers and freedom lovers, we fought back against the cabal that is the 58K gang. We won that battle, even though the influencers in the end came and capitalized at that war, at that win. It was a glorious pleb movement that happened. And now we are back at where we should be, and that's pumping slowly and steady. And that's great. Freedom is back, and I'm loving it. I'm having more energy, more power, I guess, heat, whatever you want to call it, to meme and create stuff. So that's good. I'm gonna suggest everybody, and please join me on October the 3rd. I'm gonna leave it with that. It's coffee day. After pizza day, it's coffee day. It's the first day that 2 years ago, I think, the first transaction of eCash happened with the Bitcoin, and they bought a coffee cup. So we're gonna make it a day out of it.
Nice.
3rd of October. So accept a lot of memes around that, and recommendations. Go outside.
Do that. Yeah.
That's it. Go outside. There's more to this than this.
Yeah, that's very true. Now that you said that, I'm gonna go outside right after this. Thanks. Barry, I'm gonna toss it to you. Final thoughts, recommendation.
Yes. First off, can you mute Yellow?
I'll mute myself. I don't need anybody.
Just remember that 58K is forever, 58K is freedom, and that at any price, we're still at 58K. That is until we hit 580K. Bye, Yellow. As far as recommendations, I will recommend that people read Fiat Food by Matthew Lysick. It is on the Safe House. If anyone read the Fiat Standard, Safe has a chapter in there called Fiat Food. This guy wrote an entire book about it, and basically about how the American food system, which was exported to the rest of the world, became corrupted through big money, big government, and big pharma. So I think everybody should read that. That's all I got.
That is an excellent recommendation. This fucking book.
Yes.
I was screaming at the pages in every chapter. Every chapter that I read, I would go find my wife. Lisa, listen to this. This is insane. And like you tell people about it and you sound like a crackpot, like telling them that the guy who invented Kellogg's cornflakes did it as a cultist anti-masturbatory swap out for like a healthy breakfast. And they're like, excuse me, no, you're insane. But it's real. You can look it up. And he was part of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and he was tasked with replacing eggs and meat for breakfast so that men would have less testosterone so that they would stop masturbating.
What?
Yes, it's a crazy, like, the guy starts off the book basically saying like, I read the Fiat Standard and agreed with everything, but the Fiat Food chapter he thought was totally out to lunch, and he's an investigative journalist of 20 years. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna go and like fact check this. And he found that Saifedean understated how corrupt everything was and wrote an entire book about it. So and I've had trouble in terms of like, you know, I get stuck on like unhealthy food from time to time, and I'm kind of one way or the other in terms of the dial. And reading this book switched something in my mind, and I think the reason is because I got angry, and I feel like now whenever I eat that type of shit food, I feel like somebody got me. And it's a different vitriol than, oh, I let myself down and I'm eating something bad. It's more an anger at like those assholes have corrupted everything so that I'm, you know, you get addicted to these types of foods. And so like it's changed my way, shifted my way of thinking. And I don't know if it was the book for sure, but I definitely made a change. Yellow.
Hey, Barry. Hey.
Yeah, Yellow.
Fuck you.
Fuck you too, Yellow.
Well, gentlemen, I think it's time to. That's a perfect way to. Thank you both. Do you guys have any parting words for Tselly?
Get your shit together, man.
All I have to say is, where is Dennis? Where is Tselly? Where is everybody? Only Barry came. And HODLHODL, I think, face. There is also ultra-processed people. Dimitris, Tiginete. I know this guy. Yeah, so the 58K gun didn't show up. They got lost, and they're hiding. That's all I got to say. And I'm going to stop here because I can keep on going on that subject for a while.
Awesome. All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you for being here. Everybody in the chat, all the nostriges that tuned in, thank you for being here. Make sure you share this out and you drop comments and everything. Follow these gents in the show notes down below. And yeah, I mean, I'll see you guys either at 58K or 100K, or maybe we'll have a reunion at 580K.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sounds good. Awesome. All right, gentlemen.
Thank you for having me for the first time, Ben. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it was really
Thanks
great
for having me, Ben.
Yeah, no worries, Barry and Yellow. Great having you for the first time as well. All right.
Take care, guys.
See you guys later. Awesome. And everybody, thank you for being here. Everybody that's been in the chat the whole episode, I really do appreciate you. Thank you for dropping all your comments and being part of the show. And I'm talking to, I have two chats up in front of me. So I have my YouTube chat up on one screen. I have all the nostriches on another. Also, I got to give a shout out to the nostriches that have been zapping the show as well. There's been some wild, like very, very generous zappers. Also, Jack Dorsey zapped my stream, which is hilarious, I think. Did he? Weird. Maybe. I could be wrong. Anyways, I don't know how this works. But a big thank you to everybody that's been zapping stuff. I appreciate it. Very, very nice of you. And maybe I'll just I kind of want to show the nostrils. I need to get you guys, I need to get the live stream chat of the Noster crowd on the screen more regularly. I'm just trying to figure out how to do that specifically, but shout out to all the Noster fam here. They were active throughout the show, all kinds of zaps and comments and everything. So as soon as I figure out how I can put all these messages from the Nostrages on the screen during the live feed, I will do that as well. I'd love to be able to bake in the two, but maybe I just put the Nostr stream there. That'd be pretty sweet. Anyways, we'll see what happens. I'll figure that out as we go. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you guys again so much for being here. If you haven't already, please do like, subscribe, share, all those things, super important. You can check out and follow the guests in the show notes down below. You can also check out the previously mentioned sponsors. And if you've been sorting through the channel, you've been checking out the tutorials and you hit a snag, you need some additional help, reach out to my team over at bitcoinmentor.io. We've aggregated an awesome group of educators that can help you through anything, wallets, hardware, multisig, running a node, Lightning, even home mining stuff, privacy stuff. It's all there. So reach out, bitcoinmentor.io, and anyone on the team can help you out with whatever you need. And with that, I'm out. Have yourselves a wonderful day or evening, wherever you may be. We'll see you guys next time for your daily session.
HODL the Bitcoin.